I shocked. This is what Jungkook said during his latest studio practice. "Hello Army. The night nobody saw coming. It was just another quiet night in Seoul. The streets buzzed with energy as the city lights reflected off the tall glass towers. People were heading home from work, scrolling their phones, sipping their coffees, unaware of the moment that was quietly unfolding behind one tinted window. Inside Big Hit's training studio, usually crowded with staff, choreographers, and noise, there was only one person present. No team. No lights. No camera crew. Just him. Jungkook. The Golden Maknae. The global sensation. The artist who had conquered stadiums, broken records, and moved millions. But that night, he wasn't a superstar. He was simply a young man facing his own reflection. A room, a mirror, and a dream. The studio was silent, aside from the soft echoes of music. Jungkook stood before the mirror, drenched in sweat, breathing heavily. You could see the strain in his muscles, the exhaustion in his posture, but also the fire in his eyes. Every movement was practiced with focus, intention, and grit. He rewound the music, again and again, repeating steps with maddening precision. 10 times. 20 times. 50. No one watching. No cheering. No spotlight. Just effort. Just commitment. And then, it happened. A whisper. A murmur. Barely audible, but piercing enough to shake the world. "If I stop now, everything I've built will be for nothing." The weight of one sentence. At first glance, it sounds like a simple phrase. A fleeting moment. Maybe just frustration. But if you truly listen, if you feel it, it's much more. This wasn't just a quote. This was a revelation. A moment where Jungkook, alone in the studio, spoke directly to his past, his future, and his soul. This was not a performance. This was truth. And the world heard it. When the world stopped to listen, the clip began circulating online. At first, just a few fan accounts posted it. Then it exploded. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Dozens of trending hashtags like #IfIStopNow, #Jungkook inspires, #NeverGiveUpJK. People weren't just reacting to the video, they were crying, reflecting, writing letters, journaling, calling friends. In Argentina, a fan who was about to quit school decided to keep going. In Egypt, a dancer shared a story of injury and comeback, sparked by that one quote. In Canada, a mother wrote that Jungkook's words helped her out of postnatal depression. That's the kind of power he holds. Not just as an idol, but as a human being. The battle no one sees. Behind the glamour lies pain. Behind the praise flies pressure. Behind the cheers lies silence. Jungkook has lived under a microscope for over a decade. His every move, outfit, word, and expression are analyzed. And yet, even after becoming one of the most successful artists in the world, he still steps into the practice room like a beginner. He still treats the mirror like a teacher. He still fears letting people down. So when he says, "If I stop now, everything I've built will be for nothing," he's not talking about fans, fame, or charts. He's talking about the younger Jungkook. The boy who left Busan for a dream. The teen who trained when others partied. The artist who gave his 20s to the world. He's saying, "I owe it to myself to keep going." What this means for you? Let's be honest. Haven't we all wanted to give up at some point? When school got too hard. When relationships broke us. When dreams felt too far away. But Jungkook's words echo a truth that transcends music. Consistency is louder than talent. If you've worked hard for something, a goal, a vision, a version of yourself, you owe it to that past version of you to keep going. You don't need millions of followers to matter. You don't need applause to be valid. All you need is to keep showing up. Just like he did in that empty studio. From K-pop star to global symbol of perseverance. This wasn't the first time Jungkook moved the world. But this time felt different. Because he didn't do it through a high-budget music video or a chart-topping single. He did it with a quiet sentence. In a quiet room. With no one watching. And sometimes, that's when the most powerful truths are born. This moment turned Jungkook from an idol to a symbol. A symbol of discipline. A symbol of humility. A symbol of the kind of quiet leadership the world needs more of. Not shouting. Not drama. Just a whisper of truth that lit a fire in millions. Thank you, Jungkook. Thank you for not stopping. For showing up on the days that felt impossible. For letting us see your fight. Because you reminded us that greatness isn't built in front of an audience. It's built when no one is watching. You reminded us that if we've come this far, we are not allowed to stop now. To the viewers. So now, dear viewer, take a moment and ask yourself, what dream have you been building? What fire still burns in your chest? What version of yourself would be disappointed if you gave up now? Let Jungkook's words be your anthem. Let that moment in the studio be your mirror. Let it reflect back the truth. You are worth continuing. Like this video if his words moved you. Subscribe for more powerful stories from the world of music and beyond. Comment below. What did Jungkook's sentence mean to you? Remember, some sentences fade, but some become chapters in our lives. Among the thousands of words we hear every single day. Some come and go like the wind. Some are just background noise, forgotten in seconds. But some stay. They plant themselves deep within. They change the course of our lives. And this one? If I stop now, everything I've built will be for nothing. This wasn't just a quote. It was a turning point. A quiet whisper that became a roaring fire. A flame born out of exhaustion, from the brink of giving up, but choosing, instead, to move forward. We've all been there. At that moment when our bodies are tired. When our hearts are filled with doubt. When everything feels like it's falling apart. And yet, in those moments, one sentence can change everything. Jungkook, without fanfare, without drama, simply said, if I stop now, everything I built will be for nothing. And the world stopped for a second. ARMY stared at their screens. Not because of glitz or glamour, not because of the music or the flawless choreography, but because those words felt real. Behind the spotlight, the packed schedules, and the pressure of being a global icon, stood a young man, still wrestling with fatigue and self-doubt, but choosing to keep standing. Because quitting was never an option. Because all the hard work, the sweat, the scars, the sacrifices, they would mean nothing if he stopped now. And from that, we learned. Every student ready to give up on their exams. Every worker who feels life is unfair. Every fighter battling through their silent wars. They can hold on to this sentence and say, I won't give up. Because if I stop now, everything I've built will be for nothing. This sentence is no longer just Jungkook's. It belongs to all of us. To everyone who chooses to rise even when everything tries to pull them down. And for that, we say, thank you, Jungkook. Not just for your voice that inspires. Not just for the blazing stages. But for your strength. For your courage to keep walking, even when it hurts. Because you reminded us that continuing the fight is always worth it. You showed us that the simplest sentence can become the most powerful chapter of our lives. So today, if you're tired, if you're tempted to give up, remember that sentence. And remember who said it. If I stop now, everything I've built will be for nothing. And like Jungkook, we, too, will choose to move forward. Because from one sentence, a new chapter begins.